Alright, you guys, so when it comes to Green Lantern Beware My Power, I can see what people are saying when comparing it to Green Lantern Emerald Knight. So I do understand the criticism that way. However, I still think that this movie is still better than Green Lantern Emerald Knight, but I now can see where some people, may have been disappointed. So guys, the general story of Green Lantern Beware My Power is that prior to receiving his ring, John is still suffering from PTSD symptoms due to his past experiences as a sniper in Afghanistan or Iraq. So for that reason, when the movie kicks in, John almost beats the living crap out of these three street thugs that are trying to beat up this homeless bum because he keeps finding his way to the bottom of the alcohol, if you know what I mean. Despite the thugs having told the bum to get off their turf. So John, still suffering from PTSD, tries to defend the bum, but after reliving a vision from him being the sole guy that survived back from his unit, he practically almost kills the three guys that were terrorizing the homeless person and almost gets arrested. But because the police but because the cop recognizes the fact that John's a veteran, that they basically let him off with a warning, and then that's when the Green Lantern Guardian crash lands on Earth and gives John Hal's ring, and so guys, basically John doesn't have a very good relationship with the ring to start out with. In fact, pretty much throughout the majority of the movie, right up until the end, all he wants is the thing off. So So eventually, John makes his way to the Watchtower, where it's Martian Manhunter, John, Oliver, and Vixen waiting for him. They're surprised that the new Green Lantern has been appointed to Earth. But when Oliver in particular finds out that John is now using Al Jordan's ring, Oliver freaks out. In fact, again, all John wants is the ring off, and basically be able to know why the hell he was chosen to be a Green Lantern, and that's when John and Green Arrow basically set off on this journey to reach Oa and to hopefully remove Hal Jordan's ring from John's finger, and to more importantly find out what happened to Al. So the basic story after that, guys, is they do end up running into Hot Girl Shayera, and basically, guys, what the rest of the movie is, basically, the Ranians and the Venegarians were basically trapped in this centuries-old war that was just about to that a peace treaty had just been signed, and thanks to a Zeta tube, which Hal had been guarding some months ago, a peace treaty between the Rayans and the Venegarians had almost been reached, but somehow the Zeta beam went crazy, and millions upon millions of Venegarians, as well as Green Lanterns and Hal Jordan, were believed to have been destroyed and murdered that day. In fact, Hot Girl, being as intense as she always is, blames the Radiants for disregarding the treaty, and the Radiant's most brilliant scientist, Saraf, which is the scientist behind the Zeta, Hot Girl, Green Arrow, and John eventually have to convince Shayera to calm down, and if we really do want to get to the bottom of what really happened to not just the Radiant and the Feta Guardian peace treaty, and what happened to Al and the rest of the Guardians, we're going to have to find this Seraph guy. Well, with a little help from this gentleman named Adam Strange, who after being gone for an extremely long time, but only because the Zeta tubes the Zeta beams are now attracted to him for some reason. Eventually, Adam gets Hot Girl, John, and Green Lantern to believe that somebody else is impersonating both the Radiants, the Hot Girls race, and even impersonating a Guardian spaceship. Well, what they end up finding out is, yes, Seraph, and this guy called Candace aren't actually the real villains behind the escalated war between the Radiants and the Venegarians at all. In fact, it's actually none other than Green Arrow's best friend and the former Green Lantern ever, Hal Jordan, and Sinestro, that is behind the old chaotic war that translates throughout the movie. Well, actually, guys, let me make it clear. For, for, first off, uh, after after Adam Strange, Green Green Arrow, John, and Hawk Girl, um, they, they basically did to where Hal's been kidnapped ever since the previous Zaya beam exploded, and now was thought to have died. It turns out that that right before Al was captured, even though he releases Green Lantern ring, this evil parasite that's Sinestro tried to implant inside Al is actually the thing that turns out evil, and he was actually only using Sinestro. How that is was only using Sinestro as his pawn to because Hal says Sinestro's parasite that he tried to implant, that he implanted in my body, opened up my eyes to how blind the Guardians really were. So yes, Hal's been the one between the entirety of the Twisted War, but between the Fan Guardians and the Radiants. Hal's ultimate goal is the obvious typical villain to reshape the world in his own image, without any sense of war. So in the end, guys, John finally takes full responsibility of his role as a Green Lantern and says, "You know something, Jordan? Maybe the Guardians were right to choose me as a Green Lantern, because somebody like you with a twisted plan like this can't succeed." And then after John says the classic Green Lantern of even though Oliver still can't accept that Al has done evil because of Sinestro's parasite, Green Arrow is the one to ultimately kill Hal Jordan, and that's how the movie ends, guys. Basically, Hal's plan was to wipe out the entire galaxy with the last unstable Zayatube, and it's because Adam Strange redirects the Zayatube toward himself that John and Oliver basically have the opportunity to have to make Oliver make the heartbreaking decision to be the one to ultimately kill Al in order to save the universe. And how up until the time that Al reveals that he becomes evil, he actually still acts like the same Al Jordan that Oliver and John knew back in the Justice League Unlimited days. But yes, guys, Hal Jordan did turn evil, but but only because, but only because, but only because Howard's will had stopped becoming what the Green Lantern Corps stood for, and no true Green Lantern would have let any parasite manipulate their will like that. So guys, the movie ends with our girl saying to John, "Hey, Green Lantern John Stewart, I hope to see you soon." And yes, guys, for those of us that have seen Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, we do know that eventually, Shiera and John will kind of sort of have the kind of will they won't they romance, and then the movie ends with John releasing the massive amount of Green Lantern rings that Howard collected from camouflaging himself into an enemy ship, and all for having to come to terms that he killed his best friend. So overall, guys, John, yes, I also do get the criticism that this really isn't technically at its heart a John Stewart Green Lantern movie, but at the same time it kind of is, because through John having to having to be involved in, I guess, one last, you could call it, big war story, that this war story in particular is the catalyst for him to become a better person, and to become the eventual Green Lantern that we all know he ultimately became. But yes, guys, sadly, because of an infected parasite that Sinestro tried to implant in Hal Jordan's body, and because Hal's will had become weak and corrupted, Hal is the one that is responsible for triggering the war between the Radiants and Hawk Girl's people. But at the end of the day, guys, John did prove himself worthy as a Green Lantern, as the new Green Lantern, and at least for now, until we see the Justice League again in Justice League War World next year, at least for now, the world is safe. Rest in peace, Hal Jordan. Have a good one, everybody.